Hey guys, welcome back. I hope I'm audible to you all. Can you guys just give me a confirmation if I am audible? Let me just cross verify once. Uh, can you give me a confirmation if I'm audible to you guys? Hey guys, welcome back. All right, seems like I'm audible. I just cross verify once with my phone. All right, let me just put this on mute. All right, let's get started. So let me just run the server. All right, it's running. Let's go to localhost 3000. All right. So yesterday we did complete this one, right? The add project and then connecting the wallet. You can see, okay, it asks me to unlocking. I don't know why it actually locked because I didn't actually, oh, I think I closed my browser. Yeah, that's why. Okay, I'm currently on mainnet. Let me go to testnet and account one. Oh, zero. How could that happen? I am damn sure I had a lot of balance here. Weird. Let me just send some balance to my account. All right. We'll send a balance. Okay. So we'll be like since we connected the wallet and everything, we're able to have a UI to add a projects and all. So today we'll be connecting, and also we did set up our ABI and everything, right? So on the ABI ethers setup where we get all the contract instances, and then the hooks where we can actually use the wallets, and then the config which has all the contract addresses and the ABIs and everything. So all the setup is done. The only thing that's left out is actually calling the methods and then integrating them to the UI and making it dynamic. So let's do that. So first let's go to the pages here and let's go to index.js file. And you can see here is where we're actually calling the projects, right? Or all the list of these cards, right? So now here, let's write a function to actually query the blockchain and then get us the list of projects that are available. Okay, no, is my camera properly visible? This should. All right, so I'm gonna just write a function here. I'm gonna say get projects, or I'm gonna be more precise. I'm gonna say get all projects. I'm gonna use callback here. I'll tell you why I'm actually doing this and not directly calling this inside a use effect. Okay. All right, and this will be called. Okay, we need an account here as well. So okay, we don't need account, I guess. Yeah, we don't need account. So we'll import ethers. We will import, we don't need ethers as well though. Yeah, we don't need ethers. We have all the setup already done here, right? We don't need ethers because we already have a setup done here. So why we need ethers? We don't need it. So let's come back to index file inside our get all projects. So here we'll say, what's that? Crowdfunding. Okay, and then we'll say get contract instance, and then we need a contract name, right? So we can get that contract name here, crowdfunding. Okay, we'll add that here. So now this will give us the good contract instance to this will get us the ethers contract instance. And now what we can do is we can say projects equals await crowdfunding dot. What is the method name? If you don't know the method name, you can actually check in the contract, guys. So let's just open up our remix as well on the other tab, so that it's very easy for us to cross verify the function names. Okay. So let's go to crowdfunding contracts, crowdfunding contract, and what's the function we have to call? Get all projects. I'm going to copy the name from here and then I'll paste it here. Okay. If this was a TypeScript project, right, we would have actually had a type generated for this. Okay, we could have used that ABI to generate the types, and then whenever you type crowdfunding and when you hit the dot, it would have given you all the suggestions. And since it's JavaScript projects, you won't actually get those intelligence unless and until you have some extensions. And I usually don't use VS Code, so I don't have that good setup. Okay, I usually use WebStorm. So we have get all projects. So this will get all the projects for us. Now let's just log this. Okay, let's just log this first. We'll say log projects. Okay, and then we'll call this inside use effect. Let's say get all projects. Add this as a dependency. Now, why am I doing this way? Why am I not calling this directly inside use effect? The thing is, you should not use async like this in use effect. Okay, it's a very pretty bad practice. So what you have to do is either you have to go with a promise approach, like then and catch approach, and that would mess. That would be like a messy, like the code will become messy. So that's the reason what I do is I write a function with use callback, and then I write the all the async tasks here, and then I just run the function inside use effect. So this will give me a good way to write use async away, and then keep my code clean, as well as having a very good manageable like code snippet as well. Okay, so this is one of my way, like I do it this way, and many people actually agree on this. Many people actually do this, and it's up to you guys. Okay. Cool. Let's just see what we got. Let's just check the logs. Refresh. There was some that. Don't worry about it. It was some other function. Okay. Currently, we don't have any projects, so it's giving us like, hey, you don't have any projects kind of thing. So right now, we'll just leave it like this. Okay. Although we need one project, so let's just go and manually add one project. Okay. So we'll go here, go to your crowdfunding contract. Make sure to select your crowdfunding. Click on this compile or not. Oops. Yeah. Go to your crowdfunding. Okay, click on this fourth icon, that is deploy, and do not deploy a new one. Okay, let's just get the deployed instance. Okay, you can come back to your project, go to ABI, go to crowdfunding, copy the address. Okay, copy the address, and then make sure to connect your MetaMask first. Okay, make sure the network is 80001, and then do not deploy. Okay, if you deploy, you'll be creating a new one. We want to load from the address, right? We want the existing contract that we already deployed the yesterday. So we'll just add the address here and click on add address. Now this will give us the contract that was deployed yesterday. Okay, that we deployed using that address. Here we will list a project. I think we had a comment here, right? Yeah, here, my first project. Let's just copy this and paste it here. Okay, now it's giving me MetaMask pop-up for me to sign. I have to pay the gas here since we're adding a new data to blockchain. This is because just to see how we will get the project in the front end. Give it a few seconds. All right, it is done. Okay, it is done. So let's refresh now. We should get something. All right, we got many things here. But if you can see here, we got a lot of things here, right? Lot of things. Lot of things. Like you can ask me like, what are these things? Like why we have 9 arrays here, array of 9 data. What is this? Let's add one more project. Let's add one more project and check it out. I'm going to say my second project. Okay, we'll add one more project from Remix. And then here I'm going to increase the gas so that it will resolve soon. The transaction will be processed pretty quick. And we'll wait for a few seconds. And yeah, it's done. Now let's go back and refresh the page. And now you can see we have an array. Inside that we have 2 arrays, right? It's like array inside an array, nested arrays. And you can see we have 1 and 2, and both of these are array with length of 9. If you go inside that, you can see all these details. So what's happening here is it's actually same data. Okay, if you go to your contract and if you search for what's that structure name, project structure, you can count here 1 2, you can see here, right? Struct, project struct. Let's count this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So we have 9 data types inside this project struct. If you come back here, you can see we're getting 9. Okay, and it is passed in this way. Okay, you can either use index to access them, or you can use these names to access them. Now let's just access the first one in the code. Okay, here we'll say project of 0 dot id. I'm going to say id. Let's see what we would get. Let's refresh, and then we can see we get a big number. Okay, we get a big number because whenever you get a number from blockchain, right, from the contract, it will be in a big number state. Okay, you have to convert it. So we'll just check title. Okay, we'll check title. Let's see what we get. My first project. Oh, we're getting my first project. Oh yeah, we are only searching for the 0 with element, right? That's fine. Let's search for the first element as well. Here I'm going to search for 1. Oh, sorry, 1. Since we have only 2 projects, well, okay, my first project, my second project. Okay, it's running twice, so it's actually getting 2 numbers here, but log twice, but cool. So you can see my first project, my second project. Okay, so we're getting it twice. So now what we can do is, you can actually, let's see, we can apply object keyword here, object functions here. We can say object dot keys, and then you can add this. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it works though, but you can see we are also getting all these data here, like the 1, 2, 3 as well, because the tuple is formatted in this way. The tuple is formatted like the values with the index and then the key and index. Okay, because if you can actually see here, if you can remove this, it is in the form of tuple. That's the reason. Okay, since JavaScript doesn't have a default tuple data type, it will parse it like this. The web ethers library will parse it in this way. So what we can do is we can use entries here. Okay, we can use entries. That will give us something like this, but no, not entries though. Let's use keys. Okay, and then we can remove the first 9. We can remove the first 8 elements, 0 to 8. So what we can do is we can say slice 0 to 8, and if you check now, oh wait, we'll say 8 to -1. I think -1 should work though, I'm not sure. Yeah, it should work. Oh, it should be from 9, since we're actually removing 8. Okay, ID. Yeah, great, we are able to do it. Wait, but it's still 7. We're missing one thing. Available to withdraw funds is active. Owner, we're missing out the owner here. So maybe 9 to 0. No, not like that. Okay, let's do one thing. We'll just add this dot length. Okay, great. So this works. So now what we can do is we'll say const. Okay, we'll just loop over. We'll create an object called project. We'll call this as project call, and we'll create a loop called projects. Okay, and this will be an array. Okay, and then here we'll say for projects call, and say const project of project call. Okay, and here we'll say keys project, something like this. We'll remove the index. Okay, now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to loop over this one, and then we're getting all the keys. Okay, and then we will slice it. Okay, oh, not dot length though. Wait. Yeah, we need the keys though. We need all the keys, and then what we will do is we will slice all the unwanted keys. All keys. We'll call it as all keys sliced keys, or required keys. Required keys. Object dot keys project. Okay, and then you can say keys dot slice 9 comma keys, all keys dot length. Okay, when you do this, you'll only get the required keys. Okay, now what we can do is we can say projects dot push. Okay, you can push to the project. What you can do is you can actually create an object. So you can actually store it here. Obj, create an empty object, and for every required keys, you can actually push everything here. So you can say required keys dot push. No, required keys dot for map. Then you can go inside like k for keys. We can say project of k. Wait. It should be obj of k obj of k equals project of k. So now what this will do is this will just add all the object to this obj, and then you can push that here. Push obj. Okay, so now this, when you log this project, you'll actually see a very well structured project. Okay, now if I log this, you can see we have array of objects now, and if I open that, you can see we have everything properly set up. Okay, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So everything is properly structured now. Okay, now let's render this card using this data. Okay, so what we can do is we also have a big number for ID and everything. We will parse it. We'll parse it in the component. Okay, let's not parse it here. This will become complex. Like what do you say? Expensive if we do that over there. So we'll say const projects equals set projects equals use state of array, empty arrays initially, and then we will set a state. Set projects. Okay, once you set the projects, we will use it here. So you can remove these hard-coded cards here. Okay, I'm just keeping one for the reference. Okay, so now what you can do is you can say projects.map. Okay, and you can get project here, and then you can return this card. Return the project card. Okay, and then let's just send everything here. Okay, what is the image data we get? It's image. So it's yeah, it's here. Okay, we can remove this though since we have the reference as well. Project dot image. Okay, and here we'll say project dot title, title, title. Add a question mark here in case it is not available, it won't throw an error. And then we need project dot description. Let's go and grab description and funds required. Here's where you have to do this, guys. Since funds required is a big number, right? It's a big number. So now what you have to do is you have to call big number, okay, from ethers. Okay, you have to import big number from ethers, and then you have to say dot from, okay, and then pass project dot funds total funds total funds received. You need funds required. Yeah, pass total funds received to that. Okay, and then you can say dot to string. Okay, that will convert that to string. Make sure to convert it to string. If you convert it to number, it will throw an error like out of boundary error. Okay, convert that to string. And for ID, same thing. We will just make it ID here. Okay, and then we have to add a key as well since we are mapping. So here we'll accept an index, and then here I'm gonna say key equals index. Okay, now if I go back, you can see the project details are properly structured. And this here is in WAV format, right? We need to convert this to ethers format. So this is not acceptable right now. You can see this is really long. So now what we will do here is we will accept this, and then we will say ethers dot util dot format. I think format ether should be fine. Let's see. Okay, and you can directly pass the big number here. You don't have to parse everything. So what we can do is we can directly, okay, this is ID. Okay, sorry. This should be correct. This is correct. You can just copy this project of funds required, and you can remove the big number parsing and funds required. What you can do is you can say ethers dot utils dot format ethers, then add here. This will convert that to ethers. Now you can see it is converted to ether. Okay. Cool. Now we are getting all the projects from the project data itself, like the contract itself. Let's click on fund project. So, okay, it is going to project/0, which is correct. And this is going to project/1, which is correct. Okay, the IDs and everything is properly working. Now, let's work on this add project. Let's make sure that we are able to add a new project. Okay, so if you go to Remix and if you click on add project, you can see you have to send array of data, right? You have to send it in array of data format. So let's take care of that. You have to go inside component, new project form. Okay, so you're already storing all the data in state. We're already logging all the data in state, right? Let's see what order we need. Okay, we need the title first, then the description, and then the funds required. At last, we need the image. So let's have everything in a proper way. Okay, great. So now what we have to do is we have to call. Okay, so let's make this async. Okay, and then you have to import the create the contract instance, something like this: crowdfunding get contract instance crowdfunding. See how reusable this is. You just import this and then that's it, it's done. Make sure to import the function below, don't forget about that. Get contract instance. Okay, so you imported the contract, and now we'll do add project call. So we'll say await crowdfunding dot list project, right? It is. I'm trying to copy the function name. Yeah, list project, and then we'll pass this. Yeah. All right, so this should be enough. Although funds required will be in string, you have to convert this to ethers. So I'm going to say ethers. You have to convert that to way. We'll say way parse ethers. Okay, once you do this, this will convert the whatever, like let's say you enter like 10. If you enter 10, 100,000, this will convert that to way format. Okay, so now let's just log. What do we get from add project call? Right. Let's go to our app. Let's add a new project. We will say title my third project. CHIRD. Okay. My third project. We'll say, hey, this is a new project of mine. Please fund. We'll say the funds required is around 10,000 tokens, fund token. And then the image, we need an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Solidity image. Solidity. Let's go to images. Go here. Copy image address. Yeah. Come back to here and paste the link. Add project. And you can see we are getting a MetaMask pop-up here, meaning we are paying gas. Remember, even in Remix, you actually paid gas while adding the project right now. So that's what you're doing here. So now you're able to add it from the UI. Great. We're also able to get the hash. So you can copy this hash. Okay, but the confirmation is not done yet, guys. So it will be still loading. So we can get the hash here. and you can go to boombypolyscan.com and paste the hash. Make sure to remember the double quotes here and search. So it says transaction has been included to block number, this block number, it will reflect in short time. So it's actually loading. Okay, now we can see transaction was done. You can actually check all these details, so how many gas was used and everything. So if I come back, the project was added. So let's okay, let's do one thing. So once this is successful, let's clear all this state. Okay, so you can see it's now cleared as well right now. If I refresh, I should get the third project. There you go. We got the third project. Okay, so that's great, guys. So we're able to actually update it. Let's go inside. Actually, let's go inside project card. Cool. Then you can see now everything is done. And you can see one more. If you observe one more thing, since we are using object fit cover here in the project card, right? The solidity image is kind of like stretched out, right? So let's do one thing. Let's write contain. Contain. Instead of object fit, we write contain. So that will actually this will actually ruin many things, because this will make sure that the image is like squeezed from top and right side and everything to fit the content. Okay, so let's just keep it cover though. I think cover was actually best. Yeah. But regardless, we were able to add a new project as well to contract. And when we click on fund token, you can see it's going to ID2, meaning that it was done. So 012 ID is 012, so everything is done. And now let's just add this function before actually going to the last step, that is like funding step. Let's go to project new project form, and then once this is done, okay, you have to add one more thing here. You have to add a wait, add project call dot wait. You have to add this. Okay, add project call dot wait. So wait is a ethers method which will actually wait until the chain confirms the transaction. So this is the right transaction, right? You're writing something to blockchain, right? So this wait call will keep listening to Polygon until unless it says, hey, your transaction was confirmed. Okay, only then it will resolve. So we'll add this. This is actually good practice. And then we will clear all the state here. Okay, so we'll say set title, set description empty. We'll just copy this, paste it 4 times, and then just update all the state, so that we're resetting all the state here once the data is completed. Okay, and then we will close the model as well. Okay, once it is completed, we'll close it. Okay, now this will be good. It's very good for UX, user experience. Okay, cool. Sorry, cool. Okay, so seems like we are done with adding a new project as well. Let's go and let's go to project 0, and then we'll just try to get that project details now. So depending on this ID, we should update this particular UI. Okay, so let's go to project card. Okay, not project card, sorry, pages slash project slash ID. Okay, so we're coming to this projects folder inside pages. Inside that we have id.js file. Now what we'll do is we'll write a function. We'll say get project by ID. Okay, we'll say get project by ID. We'll use a callback here as well, and we'll say async. Okay, cool. Now same thing, you guys know what we'll be doing here. We have to get the contract instance of crowdfunding. So we'll get a contract instance of crowdfunding. Okay, and you have to import this. Don't forget to import this. Let's say import get contract instance. Okay, and then we have to get project by ID, right? So let's go to contract, check the function name, copy paste the function name. So here we'll say const project equals await crowdfunding dot get project by ID, and then the project ID would be router. Okay, router is here, and you have to say dot query dot ID. So now when you log it, you can actually see project. Okay, and you have to call this in a use effect. Use effect. Okay, so now let's go to our, yeah, let's go to our UI. And okay, here you can see it already appeared. So we are able to get all the details. Now we'll follow the same step that we did in index.js file. We'll follow the same step here. Okay, so now what we'll do is, instead of just pushing it to an array and everything, looping and everything, what we'll do is we'll just copy whatever we have here. Okay, we just copy this inside this, whatever we have here inside the loop, we'll paste it here. Oh, wait, where is that file? Yeah, index id.js file. We'll paste it here. Okay, so now this, okay, we don't need projects.push and everything here. Okay, all we need is this object. Okay, so let's log this object now. Let's see if we get a formatted detail. Let's say obj promise lo is not found. What? There should not be any issues though here. Everything seems to be fine. Invalid big number. Argument value. Hmm. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. Yeah, it should be. Oh no, I don't think I got it. Wait. See, I'm able to get it. Hmm. Let's wait. It's refreshing. What's happening? Why is it taking a lot of time though? Is it my system heat? Oh, my system is heating up on the on one side. Let me just put it on charge. And why is the UI not loading up? Hmm. Okay, okay. I think I understood the issue here. Give me a second. Cool. I think I understood the issue. The issue is not with this implementation. The issue is with router.query.id. Okay. So basically, it's saying that like it's not able to find router.query.id. So what we'll do is we'll just run this only when the query.id is available. Okay. I'm gonna add an if condition here. I'm gonna say if router.query.id is not available, if this is not available, then return. Okay. What's this? Yeah. Okay, so if this is not available, then we don't do anything. Only when it is available, we do anything. And also notice that we added this in a dependency, because since we are dependent on this value, so we added our own dependency. So whenever this particular reference gets updated, we'll be able to run this function. So now you can see we are able to get the object. So now we can see our implementation was correct. Okay, and I'm logging the obj, and you can see we are able to get the log as well. So we'll just create a state here. So I'm going to say project set project use state, and then we'll just set the project. Okay, we'll set the obj value to there, and now we will add everything here. So this will become project. Make sure to add question mark here. Don't forget that, or else you get a reference error. Image, and then where is the title here? Project title. Description. Fund details. Okay, here's where we need. So here we need the total funds received, and here's we need the funds required. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ethers dot utils dot format ether, and then I'm going to say project dot total funds received. This one, total funds received. Okay. And similarly here, I'm going to copy paste the same thing. I just want to change one reference. That's it. Here, instead of total funds received, we'll say funds required. Okay. Now, if you go back to your output, you can see 0. What? Yeah, total fund received is 0. That's correct. Oh yeah, it was still updating. Cool. Now we can see we got the data as well. Okay, it says 0 and then point. Out of this, how much this is 1 million, we have received 0 fund token. Okay, just 1 second, guys. All right. Okay. So as I was saying, so now what we have to do is we have to calculate this progress bar, isn't it? So what we'll do is, we have to somehow calculate the percentage of this amount. Like, what is the amount that we have received? How can we do that? Any idea? Let's do that here. So we'll say we need 1 million, 1 million tokens, right? We need 1 million tokens. Okay. In that we have received only, let's say, 0. Okay, not infinity. I'm really bad at maths. I really don't mind. So we not like this, not like this. Wait. Okay, let's say we have received only 0. No, let's say we have received only 1,000 tokens out of 1 million. Okay, and then we have to divide it by 100, isn't it? So this will become 10. And then what? Then we divide this by, wait. Yeah, we divide it into 100, and then I think we divide this with this. There we go. 10%. Okay, so I think this should be correct. Okay, we receive only 10% of the reward, something like this, 1 million. Not sure about it, but let's just try this. Okay, I think you guys can get the logic as well here, what we're trying to do. So let's just do that. So although there's one issue with this, it's that like if you convert this to number and then try to okay, I think we have formatted it right. We can do that now. So here, what we'll do is, so here I'm going to write some arithmetic operations here. So ethers value of funds required, we'll convert this to ethers, and then we will say into 100. Okay, since this is, you can also treat this as a big number because sometimes it might be huge, sometimes it will be like 30 million or 1 billion as well sometimes. So it's better to convert this to big number. Okay, it's better to convert this to big number. And then big number actually exposes few functions for you where you can just say multiple, mul for multiplication, and then multiply by 100. So now this will give you the multiplication of 100, which you can later use divide it. You have to multiply the total received fund, and then you have to copy the same thing. And then you divide it. Divide the funds total. Okay, let's see how much we get from here. Hopefully we don't get any error. We got errors. Invalid big number value. Let's just do one thing. Let's just add funds. What about now? What? Isn't funds received coming in for us? Okay, if it's not available, then add 0. We just had this working, isn't it? And ethers.utils, this is its invalid number. And for some reason today it's taking a lot of time to load. Usually my system doesn't do this. All right, guys, no problem. I'll just disable this. I'll just see what's the issue with this, and I'll update the GitHub repo. If you guys want, you can check it out over there. Okay, so we'll remove this. Ethers, it's correct. Not sure why it's actually throwing an issue. Actually, this logic is correct though, but not sure about this one. Why it's actually throwing this issue? Invalid big number value. Let me disable this as well. I need to check what exactly I was storing in the state. Got it. Now let's just check the state once. Let's just go to project state from the component like React DevTools. Uh, I think it's due to this streaming software. System is completely slow. You can see even React DevTools is not loading properly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have funds required and then total funds received as well here. You can see we do have them. Not sure why we're not getting them. We'll write a condition though. Only render this if you have the project funds received, only render them. Okay, now we got it. Let me just try to unlock this one as well. Now multiply by 100. Now what? We'll just check if it is available or else let's not render them. Okay, now we're getting it, but it says invalid big number string. Yeah, it's actually correct. Let's just do this. This should be even better, actually. Okay, now we can see it's actually giving us something output, some output over there. Now we'll just do the same thing here. We'll say big number dot from project dot total funds this is funds received, funds required dot divide, and inside that we'll add this. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now we can see we have 0, but and then this is actually empty right now. And then now when we click on this fund project, we have to be able to fund it. So now let's try to fund it. Okay, so here we'll say fund project. This will be an async function. Okay, and here we have to again get the crowdfunding contract, and then also check if the router is available or not, or else return it. Okay, ID is available or not, and then return it. And then let's go to our remix and then get the fund project function name. And here we'll say const fund call await crowdfunding dot fund project, and we have to pass project ID and the amount. So here we will say pass the project ID, this one, and your amount, like what is the amount of funding you want to fund this project. So how do I get the amount? Since in the UI we don't have any way to specify the amount, right? So let's do one thing. Let's add an input let's add input field here. Okay, since we don't have any way to fund it. So we'll say input from chakra itself. Make sure the I is capital, guys. And this will be type number. Okay, and we'll say size LG so that it's a very large sized input field. Okay, and then we will say placeholder. We will say amount. Okay, and now we can see we are also getting this, and here we have empty2, right, for button. We'll just add it to input field. So now we can see we have all the things that we need. So now we will have a state here that actually stores the okay, make this as object. We will say amount, set amount. This will be a string, and we'll write a function to handle that change. Okay, so we'll say const handle amount change. We'll accept an event here, and then we will handle amount change. E dot target dot value. Okay, and then we will just pass this function to here. We'll say on change, pass this here, and the value would be amount. Okay, now people can enter the amount, and then we can pass this here. Okay, again, while passing an amount, this amount will be in ethers, like in, what do you say, in 1 2 3 format. We have to convert that to way. So we'll say ethers dot utils dot parse ether, and then we'll say amount. Okay, so this will help us to transfer the token. So we'll say await. Since this is actually a write call that we're writing something to blockchain, so we'll say fund call dot wait. Okay, we'll wait for the confirmation, and then this should be fine. So maybe you can also log this particular fund project here. Okay, log the address. Oh, no, not fund project, but the fund call here. Okay, and then we'll just pass this to fund project on click. Okay, and then now if you refresh, let's refresh first. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, now let's fund around 100 tokens. So I'm using my own account here. If you want to see how much balance you have in your account, what you can do is go to ABI, go to fund token, copy the address, come to MetaMask, make sure you're on the Mumbai network, click on this assets here. Okay, scroll down to see import tokens. Okay, let me just expand view. Yeah, give it a few seconds. Okay, so make sure you're on Mumbai network. Okay, click on assets and click on import token. This will ask you a few details. Input that address and wait for a few seconds. It will detect everything. Okay, and click on add custom token. And now we can see I have around 1 million balance here. Okay, because my address has the balance. Okay, so that's how we can add and check the balance. Okay, and now we can see in my MetaMask, I'll actually get it. I'll actually have it or the balance. Okay, now I can click on fund project. Wait, insufficient allowance. Okay, so there are a few things that we have to do before like basically calling these functions. So these are the important thing. So right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to call the fund call directly, which actually transfers the token. So before that, you have to take care of few more things, that is approval. Okay, you have to approve and increase the allowance. So let's copy, you need the fund token name. So let's go to configs and contracts, copy the fund token here, come to ID, and then say const fund token equals get contract instance. Okay, we'll say fund token here. And then now before calling this fund project, right? So we'll call few methods. So we'll say await fund token dot, okay, approve, okay, approve, and then you have to pass this crowdfunding address, crowdfunding dot address, and then the amount, this amount, okay, you have to pass this amount. So basically you're approving this crowdfunding contract to use this much amount from your address, from your account, and then you have to increase the allowance as well. So we'll say fund token dot increase allowance, okay, and then you have to again pass the same values here, okay, increase allowance, okay. Now we'll just retry again, fund project. Now you get an approval call. First you will actually see the approval call. You can say give permission to access your fund. So you're actually giving approval, approve to crowdfunding contract to access your data, I mean your access your account, and then now you're calling the allowance call, increase allowance call. So we'll also confirm that, and now you'll actually fund the project. Actually, okay, yeah, now you'll actually fund the project. So click on confirm. Let's see, check in MetaMask the status. Okay, status is pending. So let's just wait for a few seconds, and this should be complete. All right, so this is completed now. If I go and check in the Polyscan, it should actually show me. Keep refreshing for a few seconds. This might arrive. All right, now we can see 100 fund tokens was transferred to this address. The address is the contract. Okay, you can check the address. It's the last number is B79AA, and you can verify the contract address as well. B79AA. Okay, so it was transferred. So everything was completely transferred. So now let's verify. Now we can see we have 100 tokens received. Okay, so this is how you can actually make a contract call, the payment transfer and everything, guys. So there is a quick challenge for you. So how similarly what we did here, we were able to like fund the project, right? The challenge is for you guys to write a withdraw function. So write a withdraw function for admin, sorry, the project owners. So check the owner. So once you connect the wallet, make sure to take this account and then check the owner.